There's a bunch of holes there. All right. That's the front of the nacelle, guys. N-A-C-E-L-L-E, nacelle. Our rotor assembly bolts to there. That's right. And once it does, it'll look like that guy over there. All right. So they'll stack that can on there. They'll stack this nacelle on that can. Then they'll stack that rotor assembly there behind the base can, right there. And that would be a wind turbine. So here shortly they'll do that. We can go peeking if you'd like. We'll go to the back of the nacelle. You got it. N-A-C-E-L-L-E. Nacelle. We'll climb up here. Hopefully it's not too dark in here. All right, I'll try to go over most of the components in here. I won't dumbify it down, but I won't get too technical. That's probably not important. We'll start back here. Back of the generator, number one. This whole thing right there, generator, right? That's what produces power. Up there you'll notice a little air box. That's to keep air flowing, right? Keep things somewhat cool. Here's a rotor cabinet. Rotor cables. Some generator brushes in there. This is an encoder. But in other terms, it measures rotation, speed of rotation. Pretty easy. Again, rotor cables. This junction box here, called the stator. Inside a generator we have rotor, stator. All generators. Rotor, stator. All right. There we go. And those are the stator cables. When this bad boy is turning right here at close to 2,000 RPM, right? Revolutions per minute. Then the molecules and the electrons and all that magnetic bullshit that happens inside the generator, right? Got a big coil with magnets and it rotates and we create electrons and they need to go somewhere, right? So they go automatically into these cables here and they shoot down tower. We'll talk about what they do when they get down tower. Energy is produced. There they go, down tower. All towers have a little bit of electricity coming in there and then a lot going out. We need the initial electricity to power up certain things. So there's a little breakdown of a generator. Nothing special. There's an air box. Keep the air flowing. Big fan in there. There's the ducking that gets attached to there. Because this, it gets pretty hot up here, guys, when these things are in full production. But there you go. The back encoder measures the speed of what's going inside the generator. You got your rotor box, rotor junction box, rotor cable, stator cable. Got our slip ring, our rotating union here, right? There's a hollow shaft through the gearbox. Yes, this bad boy is the gearbox. The whole thing is a gearbox. I'll explain what that does here in a second. But we need some type of way to get power and communication out in the hub, right? And since there's things that turn in there, it can't, and the rotor turns, right? They've come up with a way to send cables down there, all the way through the gearbox, little hollow shaft, and then up into the hub, where you guys notice those battery boxes and those pitch motors, right? The electric pitch motors, they gotta get power from somewhere, right? So it's gotta come from here. And that's what it does. Rotating union, slip ring, depending on who you ask. Back here, guys, this is our high speed. We have our low speed up there. We have our high speed. Flywheel, brake disc, high speed shaft. Coupler, that's just a connection from our brake disc in to our generator at a very, very high RPM. Once again, 1800, 2000. Just like your car at home, we've got a big caliper, right? Big caliper. Hydraulic fluid in those lines. And it compresses these brake pads on this brake disc. So if the tower faults out or needs to be shut down or a number of other reasons, right? Too high of wind, yada, 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 right? That'll pressure up. Or we can manually go on our computer, pressure it up, and apply the brakes. And that will slow and stop our rotor.